Joe Miller, the
All right, we're
producer.
live.
This is D Burks.
You
All
ain't
right,
introduce
all
me.
right.
You ain't introduce me.
We are
Oh,
live.
Bo, I can barely see you because you look like the motherfucking goddamn Kodak Black
Hey,
wannabe,
hey,
nigga.
hey,
Hey,
D, check
he
this
said
out.
we are live. We need to start over.
I got one thing to say. I got one thing to say. Peace and blessings, world, and welcome to another edition of Fresh Perspective, where we give you a fresh take on today's hot topics. And as you see, we got a full house today and we're in rare form. So before we get started today talking about these Saints and these Panthers and this battle in the AFC South, I got to do an introduction, man. Always to my right, I'm going to start off with my man, Bo Falaren. Bo, talk to me. How you feeling tonight, bro?
What up, world? What up, world? Let's get it. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's get it.
All right, all right. And yes, and once again, it's that late night edition. We got the young and talented Mr. Courtney Chappelle. Denzel, talk to me. How you feeling?
Here we go.
Okay, all right. And we got, you know, when homage is due, homage is paid. And so with us, we got my man D Burtz. Talk to me, brother. How you feeling?
What's happening? Chief? Let's do work.
All right, we got the professional Mr. D Stanfield. How you doing today, sir?
Hey man, D Stanfield in the building. And if I may, Irv, I'd like to introduce my special guest, my friend, the executive producer, Joe Miller.
What's
What's
good? What's
good?
good?
And you know, Joe Miller, I have to add this as well. Very special. He's a Baltimore Ravens fan, so he definitely knows his sports.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
also, D, why don't you introduce your other special guests as well?
Hey, my other special guest, man, my man, the big game, James Mac Linton. James McClinton. What's up, James?
What's up?
All right, man, and we just gonna get right into it. And actually, I'm gonna start off with my man Homage because your guy was on display today. It was Who Dat Nation versus the Carolina Panthers, and you know, a defensive struggle. So, D. Burtz, I'd like you to start in. What happened today?
Well, as we talked about earlier in the season, you was real upset about all this high scoring and all the penalties and things like that. And I explained to you that as the season progressed, we're gonna get real football. We're gonna have defensive games. All this high scoring is gonna shut down. Teams gonna have film. Teams gonna be able to create strategies to better suit them against any opponent. The Carolina Panthers and Saints, they always go at it. This was a typical game for them. They rosters are built to play against one another, and their games in the past have pretty much went like this. So today was no shock for me. I want to take this time to shout out Bo Falair because the Saints were not doing their job, and then as soon as Bo opened his mouth, take off. So I appreciate you, Bo.
Hey,
And look, also, D, this next question is for you because earlier before the production started, we talked about Superman Cam Newton and how not too long ago he was a league MVP. And at the end of that game, I felt like he had an opportunity to build on his resume and put him on the path to being what he is supposed, what I thought he could have been, being a first round pick coming into the NFL. Talk to me about what you thought about the game and Cam Newton on that last drive.
Well, let me be clear, man. Shout out to D Burtz. Shout out to Drew Brees for doing what he's supposed to do. Although he tried to give it away at the end as well with that 2 point conversion, he definitely messed that up. But
They
Cam
was about
Newton,
to score a go ahead touchdown. The dude fumbled at the one.
let's not, make no mistake about it. Alvin Kamara got the go ahead touchdown. I'll give Drew Brees his due, but Alvin Kamara is the one who saved the day on that one. However, Irv asked me the question about Cam Newton, and Cam Newton definitely had a chance to go ahead and solidify himself as the MVP caliber quarterback that we always talk about him to be. We always compare him to the Ben Roethlisberger's and the other quarterbacks that like him. But he did what he did. The same thing he did against Peyton Manning. He came up short. And it's been kind of like the story of what he's done the entire season. You think that he's gonna take 2 or 3 steps forwards, and instead he takes a backflip back. So I have nothing to say about Cam Newton. I think his offensive line continues to let him down. I think his lack of running game and the emotional stress that he felt from the beginning of the season with the Kelvin Benjamin drama has taken a toll on him throughout the season, and I think he just needs to wrap it up and prepare for next season.
Now let me ask you a question, D. Stanfield, if you don't mind. Now I see you went and discussed every other thing that was going on with the Carolina Panthers, but you neglected to address the mechanical issues of Cam Newton's throwing motion and his consistency at playing the position. The running game is fine. North Turner has done a great job at adjusting the running game with Christian McCaffrey and is actually not let Cam Newton run the ball as much. He is also having his best statistical season as far as pass percentage at 69%, but his yards per pass play has dropped from 10 to 7. So they're doing a lot of dinking and dunking with him. But tonight, we saw all the bad habits of Cam Newton service itself again. Speak on that.
And yet, with all the bad habits of Cam Newton surfacing, he still managed to get a touchdown. He still managed to put his team in position to win the game, and yet he still came up. He still came up short. Yeah. Here's the thing. As bad as we talked about Kelvin Benjamin and the things that he said at the beginning of the season, because those things should definitely be kept in house. Everything that he said had some truth to it. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't 100% truth, but it has some truth to it. And I'm not going to sit up here and deny that. However, Kelvin Benjamin has some things he needs to work on himself. He needs to work on the fact that he's a fat, tight end looking receiver that needs to work on his route running. He doesn't even know the route tree.
So, and actually, Courtney, I was about to pose the next question for you because things are, to me, the NFL couldn't have asked for a better scenario coming up into the playoffs because you got 2 weeks left and you have so many different scenarios available. I know both Laren over there is happy because his Eagles still got a chance, but talk to me about this game as well. How do you think that this game is going to help set the stage for the playoff picture? Or would you also like to join in on that Cam Newton speech? On that Cam Newton speech. Is it the dink and dunk or is it something else? Talk to me.
Courtney?
Hey, I got something to say about that.
Hold on. I didn't hear what you said. Say that again. What's the question?
Well, the question was, the NFL has a phenomenal scenario going on right now. You have 2 weeks of football left, and you have so many multiple different opportunities or different situations for the playoffs to take shape. Nothing is necessarily set in stone right now. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about this game and how pieces, web throwing motion, and the dink and dunk and short throws? Or is there something else that's going on with Cam Newton? Why is he no longer the Superman that he used to be?
Well, I'm the wrong person to ask about this because I never thought Cam Newton was actually the Superman that people made him out to be.
He does have an MVP.
I don't care. I always thought Cam was overrated, and I always thought he was a poor leader. So I never been a fan of Cam Newton. I was the guy that always felt personally, and I still feel like if I got to choose between the two, even today, even though I know their careers is completely opposite positions, I'll take Jameis Winston over Cam Newton. So for me, I've never thought of him to be that, and I don't think Cam cares enough about his craft or being the best to actually become one of those type dudes.
Okay, interesting. So talk to me about the playoff picture and what's going on in the NFL.
The playoff picture is sweet. The AFC pretty much is wide open in retrospect. The AFC is kind of wide open. Anybody can be beat on any given Sunday, so you really don't know how that's going to go. It's a lot of kind of solid teams or teams in the same position in the AFC. And the NFC, it's sweet. It's kind of shaping up like greatness to me personally. But my big thing is I need the Eagles to make the playoffs. I know that sounds crazy as a Giants fan. But if I need anything, I need the Eagles to make the playoffs. That would make my fucking playoffs amazing.
I can't help it, man. I gotta ask, Courtney, why are you so dead set on the Eagles making the playoffs? And I know this is a loaded question, but I want to hear it just so I can see Bo's face.
Just to prove. First of all, just to prove to you and Bo, when I said earlier that Carson Wentz nigga was regular, I just want to prove that his team loses him and they get better consistently, which showed this week that the team got better when he was gone. I just want to prove the fact that you niggas called him a top 10 quarterback, yet his team plays at a much higher rate and a better consistent rate without him consistently. This would be year 2 that his team has gotten better without him and succeeded without him. They lost to the Cowboys with him and they beat the Rams without him.
But hey, they lost to Tampa Bay without him too, though. Yeah, shut that bullshit up.
They lost to the Cowboys with him, and they beat the Rams without him. And this would be year 2 if they make the playoffs without him. This would also be the second year the Philadelphia.
They was already in the playoffs when he got hurt last year.
Did he play in the playoffs?
Well, let's be clear.
They was already in the playoffs.
Did he play in it?
Let's be clear. The Rams lost 2 back-to-back games because they lost to my Bears first. So
let me ask you
this. Up, man. Hey, man. Let me talk. It's my time to talk. It's my turn to talk.
I just want to let y'all know, for clear sake, he cut me off in the middle of my statement. So I don't want to hear "shut up, let me talk." You won't let me talk because he clearly.
I ain't cut you off. He cut you off.
Okay,
I ain't cut you off.
All right, I tell you what. Hey, Bo, hold on, real quick, Bo. Let's let Courtney get off and do his thing because I was gonna direct the next question to you. So, young talented, please finish.
This would make the second playoffs that the Philadelphia Eagles are consistently in, and their best quarterback isn't at the position for the final 2 weeks. Let's be clear. The final 2 weeks going into the big moment when it matters most, not the regular season, not the shit that everybody gets to play, but the shit that only the winners get to play. He would not be a part of the second time consistently his team not being in the playoff. But y'all call him top 10 though.
So do you feel like this is an indictment on Carson Wentz?
I don't got beef with Carson Wentz. I'm just trying to show niggas that you can't call a nigga top 10 for doing nothing repeatedly.
Okay.
What you mean? Hold on. What you
hold on. Hey, Bo, let me set you up. Let me set you up, Bo. Okay. Now, Courtney just threw a massive shot. Massive shot. And, world, I know you're ready for Bo for learn to go in and do what he does. Bo 2.0. Talk to me about your Philadelphia Eagles and their prospects on making the playoffs. And does Courtney make a powerful point?
Man, Courtney don't know what the fuck he talking about. You heard that? Okay, first of all, how you gonna say that that basically Nick Foles got us in the playoffs last year when we already clinched before Nick Foles joined before he played last year?
Now, clarification, Bo. He didn't say he got you to the playoffs. He said that when it most mattered, your playoff run, Carson Wentz was not at the
He was hurt. In three playoff games, Nick Foles played good in 2 of them. He played good against the Vikings, and he definitely played good against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. He didn't play good against the Falcons in that first game. I don't get if y'all go back and look at that. He didn't play good. The Falcons just choked. And only reason we made the Super Bowl last year because Carson Wentz gave us home field, like I told y'all from the jump. If we didn't have home field, we don't get to the Super Bowl. Just like the piggyback on this whole Cam Newton thing. You say Carson Wentz not top 10, but is Cam Newton top 10? Because if we be real, it's not that many good quarterbacks in the NFL.
But let's be fair to Cam Newton. Cam Newton did win an MVP, and he did take the Carolina Panthers to the Super Bowl. So at one point in time, Cam Newton was looked at as one of the young and talented, shout out to Courtney, quarterbacks in the league.
He was, but he also regressed. Cam Newton has regressed since he won the MVP. Has he not?
I would agree with that.
Okay,
I would like to say something with that. You can say you can look at it one way, but when you go back and look at the totality of this season, I don't see this season as a total regression. After the injury was when you start to see his numbers dip. He was playing at a very high level prior to that Lions game. After the Lions game, he got injured, and he's still out there trying to play injured because he's trying to be the leader for his team. unlike Carson Wentz, they sit him down. Cam don't have the luxury of sitting down and putting another quarterback in the game. He got to go out there and he got to play hurt. Cam Newton
because
under
he's not
North
as good
Turner.
as Nick Foles.
Cam Newton under North Turner, numbers and accuracy and everything has improved from him playing the quarterback position. He has to build upon that. He got to get his body right, and going into year 2 when they can expand the offense, I look for him to get better.
Let me tell you the main problem wrong with the Carolina Panthers. They don't lost 6 games in a row. The main problem is they don't have McCaffrey that gonna hurt you. He's been hurt since the last 2 years. Like, it's Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton and everybody else is just out there. They just out there. It's just, if you stop Christian McCaffrey, they cannot beat you. They can't beat you.
Okay, interesting. Okay, now actually,
Well, let me hold on. Before you jump off of that, how many yards Christian McCaffrey had tonight?
I don't know. I don't.
67 on the ground and 50 something in the air. Receiver.
So
he's their leading receiver. I think he's their leading receiver and their
leading rusher.
So Christian McCaffrey, by all intents and purposes, Christian McCaffrey got off tonight, right?
No, he really didn't.
I mean, he didn't have his league averages rushing, but he definitely had above his averages on receiving, and by all intents and purposes, he had over 100 yards from scrimmage, right?
He was productive.
He was serviceable, like you said. That's your word, right?
But the play of the game, the whole game for.
Hold on, Burks. I just got one point.
Go ahead.
Christian McCaffrey got off today, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had a decent day today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they walk away with a W?
No.
So what's the overall consensus here? It's not Christian McCaffrey that decides whether they win or lose. It's the motherfucker that gets Christian McCaffrey the ball. So let's not. So to your point, I'm trying to accentuate what you said, Bert. To your point, we all know that Cam Newton has been playing with injuries for the past 3 weeks. That's been put out there. It's been made public. For the last 3 weeks, he's been playing with the shoulder injury. He tried to cover it up, but the fact of the matter is he's been playing with the shoulder injury. And like a true pro, he's not going to sit up there and make big of it. But the minute that things start to fall apart, somebody going to put it out there. And the fact of the matter is, Christian McCaffrey is not the determining factor as to whether the Carolina Panthers win. The determining factor as to whether the Carolina Panthers win is the defense and Cam Newton.
But listen, let me tell you though, it was 2 things that happened in this game, but I think the game ultimately turned because Carolina pretty much had the momentum. But that fumble by DJ Moore, that was a great play call. That was a great play call. He made a great cut, and they was in scoring position, and he fumbled the football, and then Drew Brees and the offense got the ball back, put together a long drive, and end up scoring a touchdown on that drive.
Hey, can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
I think Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara are the same player.
It depends on how you look at it.
It's possibly.
I think they're the same as that player. I think they're the same as that player.
You don't think that Alvin Kamara has more north-south ability than Christian McCaffrey?
No, I don't.
Have you seen Christian McCaffrey this year?
That's all he do. That's all he do is go straight.
Okay. All right.
I think they're the same as that. I think they're the same as that player.
They're very similar players, but I just think that tonight with Cam Newton nursing injuries, what you're supposed to do is rely on your mechanics, which is his biggest weakness. When you're hurt, when you're injured, anything like that, you're supposed to rely on the fundamentals. Cam Newton did not get to the NFL off the fundamentals. So when he has to rely on his technique and his skill set and his ability to read coverage and his ability to play the position, he looked like he looked tonight because that's not what got him here.
And I think that that's it's wonderful that we're talking about Cam Newton because Cam Newton is outside of the his passing abilities that he does have from time to time when he's consistent. He's one of the better running quarterbacks that we have in the league. And I think that one of the other running backs that we wanted to touch on tonight, who has been performing at a high level despite his lack of ability or I shouldn't say lack of ability, but his inexperience in the league right now. Let's talk about Lamar Jackson. And I wanted to go ahead and bring this in because we got two horrible, in my eyes, horrible fans of the Baltimore Ravens and Irv and Joe Miller.
Oh, you're brutal. You're brutal.
Since Joe Miller is since Joe Miller is new to the group, I wanted to go ahead and give him an opportunity to speak on where he thought his Ravens, with the number one defense, can take his team as far as the playoffs are concerned, because they are destined for the playoffs. Do you think that they realistically have a shot at the Super Bowl?
Well, I guess to start, they're not destined for the playoffs. They're barely holding on to a three-way tie in the wild card, and they've got the Chargers and the Browns, two teams that are, I mean, they are both playing amazing football. I think the thing that gets the Ravens in right now is their time of possession. You look at what they're doing right now, they are running the ball, and they're holding it for 37, 39, 40 minutes a game. Anytime you're doing that, you're going to win the game. I mean, you look at any team that can control the ball for that much, the defense just wears out. And that's what they've shown they're committed to. First quarter, second quarter, they're okay with giving up the lead. They just keep pounding the ball. Fourth quarter comes around, that defense, especially those last 2-3 drives where you're in crunch time, you're trying to do a 2-minute offense, defense is running. I mean, your corners just get so tired, your safeties get worn out, and that's when they're able to just kind of pick you apart. You're looking at Lamar Jackson. You're looking at Gus Edwards. I mean, who's Gus Edwards? Who was he playing for last year? I mean, you're talking these people that are unknown and they're running for 100, 150 yards a game. That wears you out too. I honestly would have liked to see Joe Flacco play a little bit longer. I would have liked to see Jackson get another year or two, maybe hopefully avoid that sophomore slump. But clearly that's not what the cards had for us, so I'm willing to play with the hand we're dealt. I think we're getting in. I still think we have a chance at the AFC North title. I think that's still possible. I think the Steelers are going to stumble a little bit. They got some tough lineups as well.
Okay, all right. And I see you shaking your head, Burts. But before I let you jump in, Burts, I'm gonna jump over to the other Ravens fan because I even though he's not on camera, I can smell him shaking his head. So, what's your take on your Baltimore Ravens? What's the trajectory that they are currently at, and what is it going to take for them to actually make a dent in the playoffs, provided that they make it there?
Well, Joe made some very potent points just in terms of how we're playing right now. I mean, when you're running 200 to 250 yards a game, like in the time that Lamar Jackson has been starting for us at quarterback, we've gone from 27th in the league to number 2 in terms of rushing offense. So we have had Lamar has had an amazing impact on our running game. But I will say, I saw this number. They said that there are over 1,600 possibilities in terms of configuration for the playoffs in the AFC right now. So it is not a cakewalk for us. We have a tough game in going against the Chargers, and I think the Chargers showed everybody what they're made of the other night. I think at that last drive, Homage had posted, Phillip Rivers, you got one job. It was like, it's time to go. And to bring it back to Cam Newton real quick, Cam Newton was in that same position that Phillip Rivers was in. And the difference is Phillip Rivers delivered money and Cam Newton got sacked. So I'm worried about the Browns. Hey, man, as I know we had some fun with Baker Mayfield the other day when he had that bad game after talking about you. But it's a lot of talent on that Browns team, and I'm not sleeping on them at all. I'm worried about the Colts. Honestly, I would love to see us win out, and we don't have 2 gimmies left. So I like what Lamar's doing in terms of running the ball, and the young man can throw. It's just he has to work on his accuracy. He has to get consistency with his mechanics. And I think he has a very, very bright future, and I feel like the Ravens have a very bright future.
Awesome. Now, like I said, I'm gonna jump over to D Burst, but let me preface this by saying D Burst made some pretty potent comments about about Lamar Jackson, and he's made some pretty potent comments about what's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles. So kudos to you on that commentary, Burts. I think Michael Vick echoed your comments in totality about the Philadelphia Eagles. So kudos for coming out for that. It almost sounded like Michael Vick took a page out of your book when he gave his rant on Colin Coward today. Now let me ask you this. I saw you shaking your head earlier about the Lamar Jackson versus allowing Joe Flacco to get another year or two before Lamar took over. What is your take on whether Lamar should be starting right now or whether they should go back to Joe Flacco and why?
Well, here's my take on it. We all knew what time it was when Lamar Jackson was drafted. He was drafted to take his spot. That was one of the things that we wanted. Well, a lot of people in Atlanta want done to Matt Ryan. Put somebody behind them that's going to make them turn up. And in my opinion, Joe Flacco was playing football at a high level, probably higher than he's been playing the last couple of years before he got injured. But once they put Lamar Jackson in, it was on. The game plan and the way they playing Raven football, like right now, they're back to Baltimore Raven football, the identity that has been built from the beginning of the franchise. We're going to be one of the roughest, toughest teams. We're going to run the football, whether you know it's coming and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. And we're going to play tough defense, and we are comfortable in playing in tight, close games that we can pull out. That's just the DNA of the Baltimore Ravens is not going to change. That's who they are. I do think that the offensive coordinator has done a miraculous job of managing Lamar Jackson as far as giving him an opportunity to play the game of football the way he can play it, which is being able to run the football as well as make some passes in the passing game. They're not asking him to do too much because of the running game right now is so successful. He's looking at 2nd and 6, 3rd and 4s. You know, they're running a lot of manageable stuff. I know going forward, as teams get more film on him, he's going to have to be able to throw the football down the field. But right now, he can get away with it until a team really, really does their homework and put a game plan together, maybe even go up against an opponent. Like, I think the Chargers are going to expose some things this weekend just because of their defense. They have a top 10 defense as well. Bosa and those guys, they're going to get after the quarterback, so he's going to have to make some throws in the passing game, but he's doing a phenomenal job. But I don't think the Ravens are going to continue this. I think the Bucs are going to stop in one of these weeks. They're going to need some help to get in the postseason.
It's a great take, Bo. I heard you. I heard you. I saw you shaking your head. I'm interested in your take, Bo. What you got from me?
Well, you know, I'm happy Lamar Jackson got in. He's balling right now. Besides Baker Mayfield, if I was drafting the quarterback in the draft, this past draft, I would have took a chance on him besides Baker Mayfield. Because I thought he was better than Josh Rhodes and Sam Darnold. And who was the other guy? And Josh Allen. I thought he was better.
Wow. Josh Allen doing a good job for
Buffalo. I thought he was better than Darnold and Allen? Wow.
Yeah, I would have took a chance. I mean,
I could see the Rosen, but not the Allen.
Josh Allen played at Wyoming. And he didn't win no big games there.
I wasn't sold on Josh Allen myself.
Yeah, I mean,
he would have when they played.
Name the big game. Name the big game Lamar Jackson won in college.
he beat the shit out of my Florida State boys.
He beat who?
He beat the shit out of my Florida State boy a year ago.
Florida State ain't shit. Yeah, man. I said
it was a year ago when Jimbo was there. We was picked to win the ACC that year.
I knew it was coming.
Bro, Florida State ain't shit, ain't been shit since Jameis Winston left. Shut the fuck up.
And he played good against Clemson. And his receiver,
did he win the game, Bo? Did he win the game, Bo? Did he win the game?
Hey,
he wasn't his fault. He played good.
Did he win it?
He did not win the game, but he
when he walked off the field, he had the lead.
All right, I got you. Listen, hold on.
He not only did he walk off the field with the lead, Burts.
Hold on. I correct what Burts and Bo just said. Correct. He played very good. Now, let me give you the last sentence he said before I open my mouth. I watched Josh Allen at Wyoming. He didn't win any big games. Did he win any big games? Yes or no? I didn't ask you if he played good. I said, did he win?
correct me if I'm wrong, but Lamar Jackson did win the bowl game against Virginia Tech, right?
Name a big game he won.
A bowl game in a big game?
Nigga, please. I seen him against Clemson. That's the big game. He lost.
He would have beat the shit
won
out
when he
your.
walked
He
in.
would have beat the shit out your sorry ass USC team. I know that.
He
He would have beat the
lost.
shit out of y'all.
Beating USC wasn't a big game, stupid. We was trash,
Okay, let me finish.
dumbass.
You cut me off. Can I finish, please? I'm happy Lamar Jackson's playing good. He's 3-1 as a starter. He only got one loss against Kansas City, a game they really should have had won. They had that game.
They got to finish that game.
Yeah, they had that game. They just didn't finish.
Defense gotta finish that game.
This sounds like a consistent trend here. He has games he should win. He loses, and y'all blame someone else.
I'm almost finished. Can you please let me finish, sir? Damn, other guy. Okay.
He did walk off the field with the lead against Kansas City.
But my only concern with Lamar Jackson is it was a couple plays this past Sunday that he took hits that he shouldn't have took no hits. He should have got down. But he got himself hit. And if he gonna last long doing this, he gonna have to get down. Ask Michael Vick. He tell you straight up. There's a couple hits he took he didn't have to take.
Mike Vick fragile though. See, I just think Lamar Jackson's body is built differently.
Mike Vick told you that 4 weeks ago. Mike Vick told you 4 weeks ago that he wished that his first 3 seasons he didn't take off nearly as much as he used to because those hits started to pile up in years 5 and 6.
See, that's what I'm saying. It was a couple of hits.
Mike Vick was different, man. He was out there reckless. Mike Vick was reckless with his.
I don't think that the body makeup of Mike Vick and the body makeup of Lamar Jackson if you take out height as a factor, I don't think that the body mass makeup of them is too much different.
Well, D, you got to take this into consideration. Lamar talks to Michael Vick all the time. And
right.
And Michael brought this up on another show that he was on. And
Colin Cowherd. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out that Michael is getting an opportunity to talk on shows, and I hope he becomes successful. But he said that Lamar,
Mike Vick, fine.
He said one of the first things he talked to Lamar about was, I need you to put some more weight on. And he said when he saw Lamar Jackson, Lamar had bulked up. Lamar about 220. So Lamar about 6'2", 220. He's not a little guy,
man. I keep telling people that. He got bigger.
No, he's not a little guy, but at the same time, like I said, Lamar's what, 6'3", 6'4". Mike Vick's 6 foot if you give him soaking wet. So, and that's neither here nor there. And I don't want to stay on this. I really just wanted to focus on the fact that, number one, I agree with what Courtney is saying. Lamar nor Josh Allen walked away with big game wins in college. The difference between them two, the difference between those two are Josh Allen, in my opinion, was more primed to start because of the team that he went to and their lack of a quarterback. And to Joe Miller's point, Lamar Jackson had the ability to sit behind Joe Flacco and probably should have been sitting behind him for the entire season so that he could develop. Now Lamar's being thrown into the fold, and because of his early success, he's being deemed a starter when he may in fact not be ready because teams don't necessarily have game tape. So what you may see 4 or 5 games from now, or maybe even early next year, you're gonna see those struggles, the same struggles that Josh Allen is going through right now. You may see Lamar start going through those same struggles early next year, or maybe even in a game or two, because people are developing the tendencies. And let's just, for the sake of argument, if Baltimore does make the playoffs, Lamar is going to see a bunch of different looks that he has not seen in the regular season. People are primed to start giving him those different looks, and he going to see some hits. If he don't start getting down, to your point, Bo, if he don't start getting down and avoiding those square up hits, RG3 might be the next man up.
Well, real quick, we just got to make a point. Josh Allen isn't doing that great right now because he's on the Bills, and that's a fact.
Touche.
I'm just saying.
Touche.
I'm not touching that because the Bills are not my team, and I don't want to hear Bo talking about I got too many teams. My team is in the playoffs, and that's all I really care about. Shout
Excuse
out
me.
Dub Bear.
Excuse me.
Hey,
Excuse me.
I gave you I gave you your credit when you said it. You were right. Okay, goddamn it, Courtney. Goddamn, Trubisky showed out. You got your credit, motherfucker.
That ain't what I'm speaking on.
Oh, okay.
So y'all telling me everybody on this panel is okay with the fact that a quarterback has ran the ball 114
Oh no,
times.
that's not okay. So Courtney, me and you talked about this privately. The first week that Lamar started, the first week that Lamar started, he ran the ball 15 times.
The next week he ran it 27 times.
You, me, and Michael Vick all said if he doesn't get that down to 6 to 12 times a game, and even that's unhealthy. But if he don't get that down to 6 to 12 times a game, they're gonna be in trouble.
Bruh, he's only played 5 games, bruh. He has 114 rushes, bruh. Are y'all fucking kidding me? He's a quarterback. How the fuck are y'all trying to make this okay? This nigga is Colin Kaepernick all over again. And y'all accepting this shit.
Hey, got to the Super Bowl.
Hey, Irv.
See, this is the problem. Everybody okay with it once, and then when that shit start tanking for 3 years, everybody want to give him a fucking excuse.
Let the record show. Let the record show, Irv, that I didn't bring up that name. But since it's been brought up, Irv.
Oh man, why did you do that? Oh,
I didn't bring up that name, but since it's been brought up, Irv, let me ask you as the Baltimore Ravens connoisseur here, outside of Joe Miller. What is the difference between Lamar Jackson at this stage and Colin Kaepernick when he took over for Alex Smith and Harbaugh?
One darker than the other.
I think the difference is Kaepernick's career would have been totally different if Harbaugh stayed. He was Harbaugh's guy, and when Harbaugh left,
but Lamar's with another Harbaugh.
He is with another Harbaugh,
but he's not Harbaugh's guy. That was Ozzie Newsom's guy, trying to lead a franchise.
But Harbaugh did allow that draft pick.
Harbaugh didn't have a choice. His job on the line.
I think Harbaugh loves this. Look at how they line up. You've got Lamar Jackson in the middle. You're getting 2 tailbacks side by side. They're literally 2 seconds away from turning around and playing where's the football, and then 4 guys come out of the backfield, and you're trying to chase down and pick one. I mean, they are running old school Baltimore Ravens offense.
Yeah, they're going back. I don't disagree with that. You just said they're getting back to old school Baltimore Ravens football.
Flacco did real well in the 2012 campaign. Like that's it. It's amazing that he did that well. I still don't know how we won that Super Bowl. If you go back to 2000, who was the quarterback? I mean, what got us that Super Bowl? It was the defense and the fact that we had a punishing ground game.
Nah, it was January Joe. Joe is a different man in January. I don't know.
Oh, 2012, yeah. But I'm going to go back to 2000. Go back to 2000. What was that? Trent Dilfer?
Lee Evans catch the touchdown. Y'all in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, January Joe is a different animal. But I will say this: Courtney is making an excellent point. I don't think this is a formula that can continue forever. But the difference between Lamar Jackson and Colin Kaepernick, I feel like, and this is not a knock on Kaepernick, but Lamar Jackson is hungry to learn. As you see, Lamar Jackson has gotten better each game. He's thrown better each game. So I don't feel like he's going to be the guy that's going to have to continue to run. You notice, like, you guys didn't notice this. Maybe Joe noticed this, but in training camp, he was throwing ducks. Now he's throwing lasers. So the young man is hungry. He's eager to learn. And I feel like he's going to put in the work to make it to the next level. I'm not sure if Kaepernick put in that type of work.
I think Kaepernick put in the work, but at some point you got to be talented.
You got to be good at throwing the football because that is your job.
I think Lamar Jackson can throw the football.
Oh, okay.
I think it's mechanical personally. And as long as he's willing to put in the work, he can fix that.
I noticed that quiet throughout this entire.
If Aaron Rodgers' mechanics got fixed, Lamar Jackson can fix his if he put in the work.
I agree, Birch, but you know the difference with Aaron Rodgers?
He had 3 years to do it.
Ah, there you go. Now,
Well,
what I said about Lamar Jackson, I changed my tune on Lamar Jackson as he got closer to being drafted because of the talent he is. But what was my main point, Bert? He's going to need to sit and develop as a quarterback. If you put him out there right now, what you getting right now is special. And he could run the table this year because nobody has no fucking film on this thing. But come next year and the year after that, and the year after that, if he does not get his accuracy together and can
It's
throw
okay,
the football,
man, because
he's
the
going
quarterback,
to
the
fail you.
quarterback that you want that can run and pass is already in the NFL. And his name is Deshaun Watson. He already there.
I know that.
and Patrick Mahomes.
I respect Mahomes, but it's not like he's not running like Deshaun.
Whoa, hold up first.
Mahomes
I
can't
agree
play.
that
He's
he's
not
not
running.
running like Deshaun, but if you switch Mahomes with Lamar Jackson, there's no question that the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl. If not,
How? So you're gonna
Oh no, I disagree with that.
Thank you,
Mahomes is special.
Miller.
Yeah,
But
Thank
look
you,
at
Joe
that
Miller.
offense that he got dropped into.
Yeah, it's
I'm
perfect.
sorry, Tyreek Hill. You
Thank
get
you.
Travis Kelce.
Thank
you
you.
get Kareem Hunt. I mean, he's
Thank
gone
you.
now, but
The
I mean, when you
Chiefs
drop
just
him,
got Benjamin.
come on.
Kelsey.
Thank you,
Sammy
Joe
Watkins.
Miller. Thank you, Joe Miller.
I'm sorry, I disagree with you on that one.
Thank you.
Good. You did good, Joe.
You did good, Joe. Thank you, because now D got to think about it. Thank you. You did good, Joe.
Don't even think about that.
there's nothing that's going to change what Mahomes is doing on that team, regardless
What?
of who's running what routes.
Man,
He's
you
still
got
putting the balls there, and he's still getting out of the pocket, and he's still able to make plays. It's not like Baltimore.
Hold on, wait, Bert, I got you. D Stanfield, let me ask you this, D Stanfield. Hold on, let me ask you this. If you feel like that, right? Are you telling me if Patrick Mahomes had the Houston Texan line with their wide receiving core starting the beginning of the year, you think Patrick Mahomes will have 48 touchdowns?
Wait, 48 touchdowns? Nah.
45, excuse me.
I don't think he had 40.
45. You think he had 45 with that offensive line and those?
I don't think he had 40 touchdowns. However, I do think that the Houston Texans would be they would already have clinched home field advantage for the entire playoffs.
Bro, they just one game back. One.
I said
just one.
They would have clinched home field advantage.
Man, it still could be good. They're one. They're one game back.
Hold on, I got you, Bert. Look, Bert, I got him. What's the? Hold on.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Hold on, I got him. Let him go because he's saying DeAndre Hopkins like that Houston team ain't beat up. Let me ask you something, D. What's the Kansas City record?
What is it? 11-3?
11-3.
What's the Chargers record, D?
11-3.
Oh, okay, cool.
What's your point?
Bro, they got the same record as the Chargers. You talking about Houston would have clinched some shit. Kansas City got the same record as the fucking Chargers, bro.
Hold up.
Bro, he got 45 touchdowns and got the same record as the Chargers, bro.
Hold up. Kansas City got as good of a defense as the San Diego Chargers.
No. What?
I'm asking you.
Bro, you tripping. No, they don't got the same defense, but they damn sure ain't got the same offense. Phillip Rivers ain't got no Kareem Hunt and Travis Kelce.
Whoa.
Allen and motherfucker.
Melvin Gordon is good.
And he got Melvin Gordon. What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, watch this. See, I love that you got so excited for Phillip Rivers. So you got that bitch going to the finals, right?
Here you go.
He going to the Super Bowl, right?
Hold up. Let's go back to episode 1 on this.
D, is he going to the Super Bowl, D?
I'm answering your question. Was San Diego not always my dark horse?
D, are they going to the Super Bowl? Yep, they was your dark horse. Now, fuck your dark horse. We talking about right now. Are they going?
You heard what I said. I want it. I was already.
Are they going, D?
I would say definitively they about a 70% chance of going to the Super Bowl.
Who got the better offense, them or the Chiefs?
The Chiefs.
How? They missing their running back and San Diego got everything.
Because they got Patrick Mahomes.
Nah,
They
just
jump
see,
off that bridge, bro. Jump off the nearest bridge next to you when you
we
drive
just see
home.
what that look like. The Chargers are a complete football team.
They got a running back. They got a tight end. They got a They got a solid quarterback. They got a Hall of Fame tight end. They got a top 10 receiver. They got a defense. They got an offensive line, and they got the same
Got a top
record as the
five
Chiefs.
running back too.
They got a top 5 running back.
Hey, Courtney, Philip Rivers will have a gold jacket before it's all over.
I didn't ask you about it. I didn't ask you about his gold jacket. That I know what he don't got is a fucking ring. So stop telling me about gold jackets.
My point, right?
I so hate that Eli got 2 rings.
He got 2 of them. I don't care what you hate. He got 2 of them.
I just want to see him play against somebody else besides Tom Brady. Maybe he just owned him.
That ain't my problem.
Open the AFC, right?
Well, you know, we're going. Hey, hold on. We having some good conversations about the NFL. But I'd like to touch on what the King is doing in Los Angeles right now. I want to touch on
you gonna go from this great NFL talk to LeBron?
Hey,
they just got blew out the last 3 games. Oh, you ain't been paying attention. What are we finna talk about?
Hold on, they didn't get blow out the last 3 games. And LeBron and Lonzo just had a triple double the other night, and they got the W.
Okay, last 2 out of 3 games. Then talk about them.
Okay, all right.
Bro, did you really just mention
LeBron's,
them 2 having a triple
LeBron's
double?
supposed to be this great player. Hold on, D. Stanfield. Since we're gonna talk about LeBron, let's talk about it. When D Wade, his big brother, with nothing on the table, he gonna guard him at the end of the game. But James Harden got 50, and he don't want none of that smoke. But he's supposed to be the greatest player of all time. And then John Wall went to town on them. And you trying to tell me that he's supposed to be the guy and he ain't gonna go shut down John Wall for a quarter? Man, please.
Hey, where James?
Oh, ask your question.
That's James' team.
James know they trash.
Hey, Bo, you been quiet, man. You still there? Talk to me.
Bo gone, bro.
Bo dropped off, man.
Bo been gone, bro.
Why you chase Bo away, Courtney?
That ain't my problem.
Yeah, you. But yeah, we did have a awesome conversation about the NFL, touching different things, man. Wish we had the call-in line right now, but this is the late night edition.
I'm on the feed, so you know.
This is the late night edition of Phresh Perspective. So yeah, we won't spend too much time on LeBron, even though I thought it was cool that they both had 2 triple doubles, and I think it's a
when
great.
Is that going to happen? Why did that happen when James Harden was giving them 50?
But I will also say this: that's an awesome question. But the fact that they are a 4th or even trending to be one of the top teams in the Western Conference, I think it's a testament.
Why? What is it a testament to? Herb, you kill me. I don't like when you act like this nigga is doing something special. Is he the best player in basketball or not?
I would still say he is the best player.
If he's the best player in basketball, stop telling me about a fucking testament about being in the playoffs. That's what you're supposed to fucking do when you're the best.
But that team was not a playoff team.
That team won 37 games without him, bro.
But I really think that they were going to make the playoffs this year with the young boys running this thing. They was going to get the 8th spot. I felt that.
Bro, they won 37 games without him. He not good enough for 13 games, Irv?
I think he's good enough for 13 games.
Which would make it 50. Stop acting like this is special. He is supposed to do this, bro.
Cannot LeBron see? This what Hawk got to understand. LeBron James is a legacy player. It doesn't start until the postseason begins. That's when his judgment starts. Whatever he does in the regular season means nothing. Because I want that same triple double energy. The same way he went and guarded D Wade at the end of the game, he didn't want no smoke with James Harden at the end of that game. He didn't want none of John Wall. He don't want it. But that's y'all guy though, not mine.
I think he's the people's. That's the people's guy.
Yeah, if we keep it at 100, John Wall is not. LeBron James is not a point guard. That John Wall is Lonzo Ball's responsibility.
No, he is not. When you're the greatest player
Yo,
when you're
stop.
the greatest player, hold on, man. You remember when? So what's? Hey, let me ask you something. What's Kobe Bryant's position?
Yo, stop.
D. Stanfield,
Yo,
what is Kobe Bryant's position?
this is not the playoffs.
What is Kobe Bryant's position?
Well, and check John Wall in a meaningless game.
See, that's the whole point because you see, that's the narrative.
I
and that's
agree.
the
I
energy
agree.
that
I agree
LeBron
with.
James gives. That's the excuse that they give LeBron James because Michael Jordan didn't do that. Kobe Bryant didn't do that. Tim Duncan didn't do that. It don't matter if it's a game outside of my backyard. If you're out there, I'm checking.
Go get that work. That's what LeBron was supposed to do. Now, if it was the playoffs and LeBron let John Wall get 50, yeah, we have.
That's the problem. That's the so hold on. So hold on, D. Stanfield. So last year when they played in Washington and John Wall was going crazy, LeBron had his jump shot going. He went for 50. It's all good. That's what you're trying to tell me.
This ain't last year.
This is a built-in excuse that LeBron James has had his entire career. Other NBA great players do not get the luxury of when they want to play and when they come to play.
That needs to be pushed and groomed.
I agree. Hold on. I agree with D. Stanford. You're right. That is Lonzo, man. The same dude you was just preaching about a triple-double and they told you he shut down Kemba Walker. The next night, a real nigga came in his face and gave him 40.
And 14.
And hold on, I got you. And his big bro, the best player in basketball, who's supposed to be grooming him to be good, allowed him to get 40 put on his head in a loss to damn near arguably the worst team in the fucking Eastern Conference.
Let the record show that Courtney called John Wall a real nigga. The main dude that can't stand John Wall called John Wall.
See, this is your problem. I don't like John Wall because I think John Wall overrated and trash. But I know when he see Lonzo Ball, he ain't gonna let Lonzo. I know when he see Lonzo Ball, he ain't gonna let Lonzo Ball act like he good. I know that much. I mean, John Wall trash, but he know for damn sure Lonzo ain't good.
Nigga, and then turn around and say he's hot and that's trash, bro. How you say that?
Look, I'm gonna
The
let
same way I say Kyle Lowry had a good game the other night and he's still a trash can walking.
But you ain't call Kyle Lowry a real dude.
Because he a real dude, Philly born and bred.
No, you ain't giving no proverbial street credibility and then call him trash.
Listen, John Wall as a human being, if we could hang out, John Wall as a human being, if we could hang out, we'd probably be the best of friends. He looks like a cool dude to hang out with. But as a basketball player and the leader of my team, he's a fucking trash can.
Is this the same guy who just scored 40 points?
Yeah, it was Lonzo Ball. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It was Lonzo Ball. Anybody go get 40 on Lonzo
Ball, but when the other elite point guards come to the city,
he ain't gonna do that to nobody else.
Kyrie out there dancing on him on his own court.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that to nobody else.
Curry come out there dance on him. Russell Westbrook come out there and dance on him.
I don't know who you're going against. 40 points is 40 points.
No, you're 100% accurate.
When it matters.
But 40 points on Lonzo Ball don't really count.
Oh, that's harsh.
Oh yeah, no, that's real. Lonzo Ball doesn't nobody worry about no damn Lonzo Ball.
I'm just saying, 40 points is 40 points regardless. I mean, if you're playing at the NBA, there's a minimum level. You don't just see these guys coming out and dropping 40 on anybody.
Hey man, I seen some people drop 50 that you probably can't even tell you what team they on, right?
About John Wall and his 40-point output on Lonzo Ball. In 2 games prior to that, he had 34 on Kyrie Irving. So it's not like
Ho.
Time out.
But what you're not gonna do is act like Kyrie didn't burn his ass up with the game.
He had 4 more points. He had 30.
It's not about you're going about the number of points.
I agree with you.
When they happened,
I agree about
game went to overtime and Kyrie Irving took over the overtime. And to get the game in overtime, he took the game over to get the game in overtime. I don't care about John Wall 34 points. Did you see at the end of the game when he had a shot to tie the game for 3? He missed 3 of them. They got 3 rebounds and he missed 3 shots.
Are we talking about what Lonzo Ball is doing to stop John Wall, or are we talking about what Kyrie is able to do?
Hey, I agree with you. He got 34. He gave Kyrie Irving 34 points. Kyrie had 38 in the win.
That's your key word. That's your key phrase. The win.
Yeah, because the 40 points only fucking matters on Lonzo Ball because he won. Because if he got 40 and lost, nobody would give a fuck. D. Duh. Winning matters, bro. But see, listen, I'm only bothering Didi like this tonight because he failed to give me my respect when I told him Mitchell Trubisky. No, nigga. I don't want your random giving respect. I want it after I said it. I want it after I said it. I wanted after I said that Mitchell Trubisky would carry you guys into the playoffs and closer to the promised land, and that's what he's done.
Into the playoffs on his back, which is why he sacked Aaron Rodgers with his back as a proverbial.
If he would have sacked him in game one, y'all probably would have clinched home field advantage already. But he didn't when it mattered.
Why the Bears is this good?
What about that man Roquan? What about the year Roquan?
I didn't know Mitch was the reason. I don't even think he.
Real quick, while we're talking about Khalil Mack, we just gotta appreciate the fact Oakland Raiders right now have 12 sacks for the entire defense.
Correct.
Mack
I agree.
12.5.
Hey Joe, could you check
Kind of been neck and neck all season.
To your point, Herb.
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
Eddie Trevathan has been a little bit more effective.
You can't sleep how you like it cold.
Roquan,
Spiritually,
arguably,
what's going on?
been the linebacker anchor, but Eddie Trevathan's been more effective.
Listen, man, I knew Roquan was special when I looked at him in that national championship game. He had a horrible first half.
Oh,
But the second half, he came in and played like a true warrior. I was like, man,
it really was a horrible first half by the way they was using him. He's a guy. He's not a guy right now who can study the film and diagnose the plays. He's a see it and go. He's not instinctive yet. He just see it and go because he's so fast. Once Georgia simplified the game for him, he started to make his plays. That's why D. Stanfield was telling you about Trevathan. That's what Trevathan does for him. Trevathan does the hard stuff, and Raekwon go get the tackle.
To D. Bird's point or question about Mitchell Trubisky being the difference, no, he's not the reason that they're winning. Their defense is solid, but when I say reason is he's making throws and he gives them a chance. If he wasn't there, they ass would be home.
That's a fact.
That's what I mean when I say Mitchell Trubisky being a difference maker. When I was sitting with D in his house, he didn't think Mitchell Trubisky could do that.
Yeah, again, my quotes about Mitchell Trubisky when we and Courtney initially had the conversation was, I think Trubisky will show out this year, but I'm not sold on him. I don't think that he would be able to carry us in close games. When we got
don't get sold yet. Let's just see what he's doing these offs.
When we got Khalil Mack, that all changed because Khalil Mack completes the defense and gives us.
That ain't gonna matter. That ain't gonna matter in the playoffs. Mitchell gonna have to show up.
Which is probably gonna drive to my original point that when the football starts, it's probably I will say.
Hey, D, I got a question for Mr. Young and Talented real quick. Since we are in your division talking about your Chicago Bears, Aaron Rodgers, Courtney. Please talk to me about Aaron Rodgers because a lot of people love to crown Aaron Rodgers. I need a fresh perspective on Aaron Rodgers.
Mr. Regular, Mr. All these stats is losing again. Mr. Regular won't be in the playoffs. And Mr. Regular, who was put on Sports Illustrated as the guy to win the Super Bowl this year, has once again failed you guys. And until everybody admits what I've been saying from the gate, I will show him no love. He hasn't won a Super Bowl since that Brett Favre developed team. Not Brett Favre's team, but Brett Favre developed team. He has not won a Super Bowl or been to one since. Somebody tell me why.
Wow. I mean, is this an indictment on his leadership that you're offering? Or
always
I know
has
it's not
been
the
with
kill.
me.
Okay. I was about
Always
to say, I know
has
it's
been
not
with
the
me.
skill set.
You can ask D. Birch there. It has always been about his leadership with me.
All right, so Bertz, I need you to chime in on this a little bit. Are we talking about Aaron Rodgers and his leadership or lack thereof? Yeah. So do you feel that there is a leadership chasm when it comes to Aaron Rodgers as maybe compared to like a Brett Favre or just Aaron Rodgers, the man, period? Is he just all skill?
Let me tell you something, bro. Brett Favre is Green Bay. Brett Favre embodied the energy and the pulse of the city and played like the people of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Aaron Rodgers, the game he did against Chicago, and he went back out there and he gutted it out and he won that game. That's the kind of energy that Brett Favre gave that franchise every single game, every single play. That's how he played the game. I think Aaron Rodgers is a phenomenal quarterback, but I think Green Bay made a mistake because they forgot to remind Aaron Rodgers when it was time that we made you. You didn't make us. We let you sit and develop for 3 years and put a great team around you, give you a number 2 defense, and you go out there and you get it done. The minute they gave him the money was the minute they lost the team and the franchise.
Well, the man who helped create him, Mr. McCarthy, he just got ousted.
That's another thing that really bothers me because that was Mike McCarthy. That was his guy. That was the guy that he was able to tear down and build back up, and we got this. But it's all right though.
Okay,
because I'm only worried about one guy, number 9.
So is Aaron Rodgers now Mr. Regular until further notice?
Well, I'm not going to go to the extent of Courtney. I think he's still playing the quarterback position at a very high level. But at the end of the day, it's going to come a point to where he's going to have to lead a team, and people are going to have to be willing to follow him. And if he doesn't change his personality and his leadership tactics, Green Bay Packers are going nowhere, and they're going nowhere fast.
And in terms of personality and leadership tactics, that was, and listen, I got supreme love for Joe Flacco, but I always felt like Flacco took it too hard or took it to heart that Ozzie never got him a true number 1. We never got him a Julio Jones. We never got him a AJ Green.
They had Anquan Bolden, man,
and we got rid of him.
Not for lack of trying. They drafted. I mean, how many first-round draft picks did we have go bust because we were trying to fix the offense?
But the thing is, Joe, I almost felt like he wanted that guy to be that guy, and it wasn't a sense where he was willing to work to develop that chemistry between. Remember, he didn't have the chemistry initially with Anquan. He learned to trust Anquan later in the year, and then he was like, "All right, I'll throw the ball. Anquan's going to go get it."
Flacco really isn't that good.
But let me just say this in the words of Cat Williams. After a while, maybe it's not the pussy. Maybe it's not the dick. Maybe you got some ain't shit pussy. Maybe it's not the receiver. Maybe it's the quarterback that ain't never had no number 1 because he ain't never been able to put it there for a number 1.
But
Mike Wallace, he's had Torrey Smith, the same Torrey Smith that showed
Steve Smith
roles. He has had Anquan Bolden to deep burst point.
Steve Smith Sr.
And Steve Smith Sr. And he just has not, in the words of Deep Burst, got it done.
You know what all that? Hold on. You know what all these guys?
Tanda Doss. Tanda Doss was his pick.
Like you know what all these guys have in common.
I want this guy.
Yeah, they veterans with experience that got Super Bowls either before or after him.
Okay.
Not Rashard Perriman, not Tandon Doss. They were both drafted specifically to be that number 1.
True, but Rashad Perriman has some real bad luck in terms of health here, and I hate that he's in Cleveland catching touchdowns with Baker Mayfield right now because he wasn't doing these things with us. But
that's another one.
It's all about.
He had a rash of injuries with us as well.
That as an indictment on Flacco because he could be in a better system that fits his skill set in Cleveland. That systems matter.
So are you putting it on the coach now? Are you putting it on John?
No, I'm just saying the system, whatever systems matter to me. Coaching matters, system matters. Joe Flacco, the way the vertical, but still, you still got to put him in the right system. Steve Young did not look like he looked at Tampa Bay. And then when he got with the 49ers, it's two different guys. He still had the same talent, but they put him in a better system. He got in it, and he was able to drive.
Irv was about to go to the fact that the receivers that came into Baltimore came in after their prime. That works for the Steve Smith Jr. and the Torrey Smith maybe.
Junior.
I think that's what Flacco really needed was veteran receivers.
Well, we drafted Torrey. Torrey was a homegrown guy. He's probably the greatest homegrown receiver we've ever had.
And you want to know why? Because your greatest strength of your quarterback is throw it as far as he can, and Torrey Smith go get it.
Even pray. I mean,
yeah,
they get more pass interference calls. I mean,
all that matters. I just want y'all to know
that also does not work for the Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace wasn't out of his prime by any means.
Yeah, but what is Mike Wallace doing now?
Now he's out of his prime. Now he's
1 year removed, right? But when did we ever look? Atlanta jumped several spots in the draft to get Julio Jones because they understood how great this young man could possibly be. You know, AJ Green went top 5. We've never had that type of talent.
Let's be clear, Hawk. You want to know why y'all moved at a different timetable? Because the way your division is set up, y'all had to get the defense.
That's true.
Y'all always get the right defensive people. That Julio thing, it worked out because Julio's just that kind of a player. But that wouldn't have been a move that would have put y'all over the top of y'all division. Y'all are still in playoff contention because y'all spent the draft pick on the other side of the ball and on the offensive line. Where you're supposed to spend the money at.
And the offensive line isn't even that great.
It sure isn't.
They're middling at best.
But that's another thing that Lamar Jackson is able to mask because he's able to make that line look a lot better than what they was. If Joe was behind there, Joe would be running for his life.
He'd be dealing with another injury.
But Joe, before Joe went down with the injury, let's not act like Joe wasn't performing.
Hey, he started hot. He was cooling down pretty quick.
But he cooled off.
He started hot. But everybody knows, and me and D-Works talked about this, I think on the episode 1 or 2. Joe Flacco is known for having an off year and then coming back strong. That's what he does.
Yeah, but he's coming back from 3 off years.
But he cooled off. It's like we should have never lost the Carolina Panthers have been exposed. The Panthers look like world beaters when we went against them. We lost to the Panthers. We lost to we shouldn't have lost to New Orleans. We lost to New Orleans, and then we got beat down by Pittsburgh. That was 3 straight losses until he got hurt.
But if you look at our losses, except for the Panthers, we've been in those games. You lose to the Browns, what was that, 12-9? We lose to New Orleans. That was a 24-23 on a missed extra point from Tucker. When's the last time that happened? I think
never.
That was the first extra point Tucker's missed since high school.
I agree.
Shout out to Luke Keith. He
did an amazing job.
Luke Keith did say that Tucker would come through in the future. So shout out to Luke Keith.
And it took, what was that, last week? It took like every single bit of Patrick Mahomes extending a 4th and 9 play for them to beat us.
Oh, that hurt.
I mean, the Ravens have been in, except for the Panthers game, they've been in every single game.
I agree.
They've been right there.
But like Courtney always says, sprinkles are for winners, bro. And you're talking about a whole bunch of excuses right now.
No, if you remember, I started the broadcast saying I don't think the Ravens are a shoo-in for the playoffs.
Correct.
I think they've got an uphill battle. I think the Colts are much hotter. Honestly, they are playing.
We're dealing with a hot Chargers team, and we're dealing with a hot Cleveland team.
Andrew Luck, they're running the ball well.
With nobody on offense, 17 wide.
And that defense pitched a shutout.
I will say this
against the Dallas offense that's been clicking.
I'll say this: the Dallas offense thing, they kind of trash, though they have been clicking. If you focus on Ezekiel Elliott, though, with the Cowboys, you can really kind of disturb their whole way of motion. But I will say, you guys are on the fringe edge. but I need y'all to get in over Andrew Luck. Please. Like, please, I cannot afford for Andrew Luck to make the playoffs. Like my mental capacity can't deal with that right now.
It's going to come into fruition. When I said that Andrew Luck was having an MVP season,
Relax.
Courtney said, "Yeah, stop talking about that bump."
No, I think Philip Rivers already got it locked up.
What?
Philip Rivers, he's MVP all the way.
Wow. Over Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, look, man. What I'm not going to allow you to do, Joe, is talk about my guy. I do not want him to win the MVP. He got something else bigger to do. Courtney, Bo, Hawk, D. Stanfield, you all disagree with me on that. That MVP don't mean nothing. He got to win the Super Bowl. That's the only thing that matters.
Nobody mentioned Drew Brees. He was talking about Philip Rivers.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
I think Drew Brees
I said that me and Phillip Rivers got a beef from years ago when he didn't get some stuff done for me and my cousin. But if Kansas City, if San Diego get the number 1 seed, Phillip Rivers gonna slide up.
Yeah, I think Drew Brees tonight, really hurt his chances.
He don't want it. I'm glad that hurt his chances. Every time he hurt his chances, he win the game, except for the Cowboy game.
I pray to God.
That's though 203 yards and an interception.
Y'all want to see me ecstatic? Everybody on this panel right now, y'all want to see me ecstatic?
If Phillip Rivers get the MVP?
If Phillip Rivers is the number 1 team in the NFL and he goes home early, oh my God.
They'll pull the Bengals. They'll pull the Bengals.
Listen, Joe,
they'll be pulling up Phillip Rivers.
Joe Miller, I know you don't know me well enough, but everybody in this panel was smiling because they know it would do nothing more but to please my soul to see Phillip Rivers with the number 1 record in the AFC, and he loses early.
Let me tell y'all what I want, because I'm gonna go ahead and say it. What I want. Chargers to make the Super Bowl. I want the Chargers to make the Super Bowl, and I want the Saints to make the Super Bowl, and I want Drew Brees to beat the team that cut his ass in his rival city. I want it all. I'm not gonna get it, but that's what I want, because I don't think Tom Brady gonna be there for me to get that. The Patriots are not gonna make it. They have not made the Super Bowl. Now time they did not have that first round bye.
Well, I would personally
not one time.
Texans and either the Kansas City Chiefs or like I said, the Houston Texans.
It'd be good. It'd be good to see Deshaun Watson come back to the city for the Super Bowl. That'd be good.
I'd like to see either one.
Man, if Deshaun, when the last time somebody won the national championship and the Super Bowl?
Wow.
Oh. Well, the national championship's only been around, 4 years?
No, they always had a national championship game.
But not the playoffs, I guess. Yeah.
I always had a national championship. Cam Newton almost pulled it off.
National championship in the Super Bowl probably was Joe Montana.
Let's see here. Namath?
No, Joe Montana did it afterwards.
Let's see.
What's the question?
Cam Newton.
Joe Montana ain't win no national championship.
Joe Montana ain't win the national championship, D-Burks.
I don't think so.
Two quarterbacks.
And Notre Dame.
Joe Namath, and Joe Montana.
Go ahead and say it again, Herb, because D-Burks clearly ain't up on his triple.
Yeah, Notre Dame, baby.
That must be your fucking team. That's how you know that weak ass stat.
Hey, we the second coming of Broadway, Jeff.
Who would be the second coming?
Joe Montana.
Okay, forget all that. I need Phillip Rivers to lose. Bad.
Is this a 2003 quarterback thing?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I need him to walk away.
Rivers to complete the trifecta.
I need him to walk away as the only dude out the group not to get.
And then if Phillip Rivers win, he would go say, "Well, he ain't got two."
He just being petty wop right now. Petty wop.
All right.
Now, Phillip Rivers really need that to solidify his legacy. He really needs that.
All right, do what you do, man. It's time to wrap it up.
I hear that, brother. We coming up on, and we listen, man. I hope you guys have tuned in because we had an awesome session today. This was Fresh Perspective Late Night, and we coming up to one of my favorite portions of the show. We coming to that final perspective, and we're going to start it off with Mr. Young and Talented. Talk to the world, man. Give us your final perspective tonight.
Final perspective. D. Birch was wrong. My dog Saquon out here balling.
Hey, man.
Nah. Real fresh perspective.
No, that's cool, bro. I got to pay homage on that. Well, I already did it. I still have my same critiques, but the boy has corrected a lot of the issues that I had with him, and he adjusted to the game very well. He's doing his thing.
Nah, but my real first take
last Sunday though.
My real first take, that was rough. But my real first take,
final take,
my
final
real
perspective.
my real final take is the New York Knicks fan base, the real ones, not the old ones, and the current New York media can actually get behind a coach. We actually have a coach that brings the best out of players. He's done it with Moutier. He's done it with Vonleh. He's woken up Knox. He's done it consistently over the season. Now, he got some other things to fix, but we will say we actually have a coach that is developing talent around us, and we haven't had that since Jeff Van Gundy.
All right. Awesome. And now we're going to go to Mr. Homage. Talk to me, man. What's your final perspective tonight?
Still the same as always, man. When homage is due, homage is paid. James Harden's out here getting away with really traveling and really getting these fouls, but he's putting up a show. But we all know when the postseason comes, the referee's going to hold that whistle, and the real James Harden's going to show itself. I'm also excited that the Saints won tonight, and they won in the fashion that they won, so Drew Brees cannot win the NFL MVP. I do not want him to get that award because he's a legacy player, and he got one job to do for this season. He has to be the one holding up the trophy, or he's going to go down and I can't take that.
Okay, and Joe Miller, this is your first time on the show, but
He's
we like
still
to
going
wrap
MVP.
it up. We like to wrap it up with our final perspective. So I'm gonna offer you this opportunity right now. Give the world your final perspective, please.
All right, I'm gonna go a little bit risky. I'm gonna say the Steelers don't make the playoffs.
Oh, I love it.
I'm gonna say they're playing the Saints, coming off a low-scoring game. They got something to prove. Saints are gonna want to put up a lot of points, and they're at the Saints. You go into that dome, that is noisy. So I'm gonna say they lose that game. Then they're coming back and playing the Bengals. Season finale, division game. I see the Bengals trying to play spoiler. I see them losing that. I see the Ravens grabbing the division title. And I see maybe Colts grabbing that 6th spot. Maybe you get the Titans in there. But I like the Colts. But I'm saying the Steelers drop all the way out. Maybe that's my division rivalry getting the best of me, but that would be a dream come true.
I love everything about that except the Colts.
I love that as well, Joe Miller. You know how I feel about the Ravens too, man. Now, D. Stanfield, talk to me, man. Final perspective.
Final perspective, man. Let me start off by publicly giving Courtney his props, man. He definitely told me early on in the season to give Trubisky a chance to let him work. And Trubisky definitely got us the NFC North Championship. So shout out to Courtney for that. I was wrong. I did say that Trubisky was going to ball out, but I didn't think that he was going to produce to the point to this. So I was wrong, Courtney. With that being said, I'm going to touch on something risky as well that I said earlier in the season, but I'm going to bring it back up. Notre Dame is going to bust Clemson ass in the college football playoff game. And it's going to be Notre Dame versus Alabama in the national championship. Whole lot. Fresh perspective. D. Stanfield, we out.
Wow.
Peace and blessings, world.
Peace and blessings.
Ooh, okay.